Hi everyone, it's Tanya and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my November TBR. It is quite a big list of books, so I more refer to it as like my pool from which I can choose a book that I will be reading. I have some books that are like priorities, the books that I just have to finish in November, and we will talk about them first. And the rest of the books are going to be just possible choices that I could possibly read, just to narrow down all the books that I have on my shelves. My priorities will be books that I'm reading for the Booker Prize this year. I'm currently reading The Shadow King, and so this is the last week of October. Hopefully I will finish The Shadow King this week, and then I will have these books left. So I will have The Real Life, Shaggy Bane, and then for the last but not least, I will have like the whole trilogy of Tsitsi Dangaremga. So the third book is shortlisted for the Booker Prize, but it's a part of a trilogy, so that's why I want to read the whole trilogy, and I will leave it for the last because I feel like I might not have enough time for this. We will see. I am usually a slow reader. The Booker Prize is my priority. The rest of the books are just some of the books that I really want to get to. Some of the books have been on my TBR for a very long time. Some of the books I feel like fit them very well. So we will start with, I will just introduce you the books. So the first book, this is one of those books that has been on my TBR for a year already, and I just have to read it and see if I like it, if I don't like it. Like I feel like it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be just a very easy read, which is something I need, because currently, for example, I am trying to finish Silas Marner by George Eliot, and it's taking me forever because I don't know, the language is very difficult for me to understand. I feel like I'm not at that level of English to like read George Eliot just easily. So it's taking me very long, and it definitely requires a lot of my brain power, and I feel like in November I will want to read something easier, something not as difficult, and I feel like this book might be something like that, because it is a mystery, it is a little bit spooky, it is set in this mysterious town which is called Lod, and it's located in between two rivers, and one of the rivers flows from the land of the fairies, but people in this town are like very pragmatic, very realistic. They don't believe in any fairies, they don't believe in anything supernatural. We have our main character who is a traditional representative of this town, so he doesn't believe in anything fanciful, but apparently there is a dark secret in the past of his family, so we will see. We will see. But yeah, I want to give this book a priority. So after October finishes, and after I am almost done with all of my Booker Prize reading, I think I will maybe give this book a priority, because I've had it for a year already. The next book that I really want to get to, it is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I've been waiting for this book for so long. I've been waiting for it for like a year. When I found out that she's coming out with her new book, I'm sure all of you already know that I really enjoyed Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I feel like it's going to be one of my favorite books of the year, and I was very excited to read Piranesi. So I want to also give it a priority this month, November. It's short, it's quite short, but I heard that it's weird. So it might not be everybody's cup of tea. We will see where I fall among the people, whether I'm going to like it or not, but I'm very excited. And I'm very happy to have this edition, because it's also signed. It is signed and it's so beautiful, and like the book itself is very beautiful. I'm just so happy to have it. Even if I don't like this book, it's still Susanna Clarke, and I have very warm feelings towards Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. So even if I don't like this book, I'm still going to like have warm feelings towards it, you know? So yes, hopefully I will enjoy it. I have another book that also has been on my TBR for a very long time, and it was on my September TBR, but I didn't get to it, but I really want to read it. This is Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko, and this is a book about Native Americans by a Native American author, and also about a soldier who is coming home from war, and he's kind of reconnecting to his culture and his tradition and his people. It's like I feel like it's a book about reconnection, but I haven't read it yet. And also I want to give it a priority because this is high time to finally read it. I'm going to give it a priority. I feel like these three might be my priorities after the Booker Prize. We will see, because you know, also everything depends on my mood, how I feel, what I feel like reading. I thought that I wanted to do like a themed weekly reading vlogs. So for example, for a week I will read books united by one theme, like for example reading books by only African authors, or reading books by Japanese authors, reading books by Korean authors, because Tsitsi Dangarembga, she is a Zimbabwean author, so African author, and I thought I could also on that week when I was reading this trilogy, maybe a few days after that, I could read also some other books by other African authors from some different African countries. And one of the books that I wanted to read is The Arrow of God by Chinua Achebe. This is the third book in Chinua Achebe's African trilogy. I have already read the first two. I really enjoyed both of them. I think they're brilliant books, and we basically follow like a family. So the first book is about like the father of the family. In the second book we followed his grandson, and in this book I'm not sure whom we are going to follow, but apparently I think also some other men from this family. Yeah, so the first book was about colonization and white people coming to the continent and introducing all the, like, you know, religion, Christian religion, rural community kind of losing connection to their culture and to their beliefs, and also like the conflict of generations, because mostly young people were interested in Christianity, and older people, they wanted to keep their traditions, and it was the conflict between generations there. It was very interesting. And then the second book was about corruption in the government, and it was like the main topic of like how it happens and why it happens. And this book, I'm not sure what is going to be here, but I'm very excited to finish the trilogy, and I'm sure I will like it. The next book that I would like to read during that week is Life and a Half by Sonia Leibo-Tenzi. The blurb says that the book is regarded as one of the 100 best books on Africa. Life and a Half was Sonia Leibo-Tenzi's response to the death of close friends during a bloody military and political crackdown in Congo. The novel takes place in an imaginary African country run by the latest in a series of cannibalistic dictators who has captured Marshall, the leader of the opposition, and his family. The author insisted that his book was a fable, and that if he were ever given the opportunity to write about real events, he would be much more direct rather than follow the tortuous path of a novel. The crisp translation by Alison Dundee maintains the fast-paced action and bitingly satiric tone of the original. It's also quite short, but the font is quite close to each other, so I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish this one. But the font is quite big, so hopefully I will finish it maybe in a day or two. And I'm very excited because I haven't read actually books by authors from Congo, so going to be an interesting introduction. Next book is by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and he's an author from Kenya. I so much was hoping that he would receive the Nobel Prize in Literature this year. I feel like a lot of people were hoping, but he didn't. It's okay, maybe next year. This book, Devil on the Cross, tells the story of a young woman moving from rural Kenyan village into the capital city Nairobi, and then trying to build her life there and going through various multiple struggles, including struggle for survival and being taken advantage of by various her employers. So It's going to be a difficult book, probably. It also has something to do with westernization. Is it a word? Westernization, and like, you know, adopting the Western culture in the country and how it affects lives of people. The last African book by an African author that I want to read is The Fire of Origin by Emmanuel Dangala, and he is also an author from Congo. This story, as far as I understand from the synopsis, briefly introduces the history of the African continent, and we follow this one character who is not exactly a human. He is kind of a spirit, because he doesn't die, so we follow him through like a lot of years and centuries. And yeah, I guess this book is just going to be an introduction of African history. And then I have 2 other books, which I hope, if probably I will not be able to get to them, but if by some miraculous turn of events I do have time for them, I would like to give them a try. So the first one being Anne's House of Dreams. I tried reading Anne's of Windy Willows. I couldn't get into it because it was written in kind of letters, like Anne's letters to Gilbert, and I don't know, just couldn't really get into that book. And then somebody mentioned in the comments that this book wasn't written until after the series was finished, so it's not actually like a part of this. I mean, it is part of the series, but it was written after that, so if I skip it I will not really miss anything like important. So I'm like, okay, I will just put it aside and maybe I will read it later, and then I will continue with this next book in this series. So I like Anne, everybody knows that I like Anne. I just want to finish the series, and I just decided that if that book keeps me from finishing it, I should just skip it and maybe read it later, especially if it doesn't really affect the plot, and I should just give a try to the next book in the series. So that's what I will do. And the last book that I hope maybe be able to get to is The Plague by Albert Camus. I feel like, yeah, this is the time. Everybody is reading The Plague. I want to read it too, give it a try. We will see. I'm not sure if I will be able to get to this last 2. If I can get to all the previous books that I've mentioned, like this, all of these books, I will be very happy. I will be very happy and satisfied with myself. But yeah, my priority is the Booker Prize shortlist. So we will see how November goes. Wish me luck. Let me know in the comments what books you are going to read in November, if you're excited about them. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a very good day. I hope you are staying safe, and I will see you soon in my next videos. Thank you very much. Bye.